Hi, welcome to Hold the Light, a podcast for lifelong learners who are curious about the ways we can deepen our connection to our spiritual and personal growth. I'm Lori Gunning-Grossman. Through solo episodes and interviews, I curate ideas, inspiration, and solutions to help expand and evolve our lives. Think of this show as a mix of information, application, and transformation. I'm here to hold the light for the light holders of the world. Let's get started. Intention appears to be something akin to a tuning fork, causing the tuning forks of other things in the universe to resonate at the same frequency. That's a quote by Lynn McTaggart. So, let's talk about vibrations and frequencies and how the vibration that you're putting out or calling to you can affect your career, your love life, your friendships, your personal and spiritual growth. If you're a musician, you most likely have heard of the term sympathetic resonance or sympathetic vibrations. This is known as a harmonic phenomenon where a vibration is induced by resonance. And a great example of this are tuning forks. A tuning fork, which looks like a large two-pronged fork, resonates at a fixed specific pitch as it vibrates once it's struck. Different tuning forks offer different pitches, and this is why many musicians use them to help tune their instruments. Here's what's fascinating about tuning forks. Say you have two tuning forks in a similar pitch placed near each other. If you strike the first fork and hold it near the second fork will start to vibrate, even though you didn't strike the second fork. Why? Because through frequencies, they become a match for each other and they vibrate on the same wavelength. And also when they resonate at the same frequency, it gets amplified. All of this is without even touching. It is so fascinating to me, but here's what I want to do right now. I want to bring in my co-producer, Jonathan.
Hello.
Hi, because Jonathan, you are a musician, you are an audio mixer, and you're a sound geek.
Yes.
You know sound.
I do.
You love sound.
I love sound.
Okay, so I would love if you could explain sympathetic resonance from a musician's point of view, because I think you might have a little more, musician-y, scientific verbiage for this.
Okay, yeah. So what you're describing is super interesting. Basically, tuning forks vibrate at one note, like a C, for example.
Okay.
And when that frequency or that C note comes through the air and hits a second tuning fork that's also tuned at C, that second tuning fork starts to vibrate and it'll produce a tone. Even though you didn't strike the second one, you only struck the first one. It's exactly what you said, and that's called sympathetic resonance, which is exactly what you described.
So hold on a second. So because it's a match for each other, they find each other.
Yes.
And they get on each other's frequency. They vibe with each other.
Especially when they have to be within a certain proximity of one another, right? If they're too far apart, then the sound would dissipate and the frequency wouldn't be strong enough to make the second one vibrate sympathetically. They have to be close to one another to vibrate sympathetically.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
And since both tuning forks are vibrating together, it produces a louder tone. It's kind of like when two people sing the same thing or they sing the same note.
Yeah.
And you might say that they're in sync with each other and therefore they're louder.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's just listen to one tuning fork and see what that sounds like.
Okay.
Okay, now let's listen to two tuning forks at the same volume,
Okay.
at the same note, and notice that it sounds louder. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But there's another phenomenon that's so cool. Okay, so listen. So guess what happens when the notes are out of sync? Let's take a listen.
Okay.
Okay. Did you hear that?
No.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You're like, hear what? Well, basically what I did is I played both of those sounds, but I put them out of sync, or as we say in audio, out of phase. And what happens is they actually cancel each other out.
Oh, my God. I love this so much. I love it as it pertains to people
Yeah, it's so cool.
and our energy.
So cool.
So then what do tuning forks and sympathetic resonance have to do with us as people? Because we're all energy.
Right. I mean, do you want me to tell you what I think?
I have a clue, but what do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what I
Okay.
mean, I have a thing about it.
Let's go.
Like in music, when we're recording, it's always like, man, there's a cool vibe in here, or man, there's no vibe in here. Like why do some bands play really well together and other bands, they just never really gel?
Yeah.
And I think that, everyone has an energy, right?
Yeah.
And so when you're around certain people and they give you this great energy and you feel so energized by them, and then you're around other people where you feel so drained by them. And I think it's because with some people, you're vibrating in sync with them. And so it amplifies the energy. And other people, you're not in sync. And so it cancels each other out. Just like those two tuning forks, when they were out of sync or out of phase, they canceled each other out and you didn't hear anything. I think people's energy is just like that.
Well, this is why I like being around your energy, because I think you amplify my energy. That was very cool. Love the demonstration. Thank you, Jonathan.
You're welcome.
Okay, so that is from a musician's point of view, and it's no wonder they're always talking about vibe, right? It makes sense. From a scientific point of view, I want to bring in Dr. Joe Dispenza, who says the only way we can change our lives is to change our energy, to change the electromagnetic field we're constantly broadcasting. In other words, to change our state of being, we have to change how we think and how we feel. And part of that equation is, what are we vibrating with? Who are we vibrating with? Right? So, what to do? Let's be conscious about how we spend our time, who we spend our time with, what we're reading, what we're watching, what we're listening to. What we put in our brains every day matters. Who we choose to spend our time with matters, and what we choose to do with our time really matters. It is time to think of ourselves as tuning forks. So, who or what are you tuning into? Thanks for listening. Keep holding the light. Thank you for listening to Hold the Light. For more information about this episode and the topics discussed, visit our show notes or find more at holdthelightcollective.com or on Instagram at holdthelightcollective. This podcast is produced by me, Lori Gunning-Grossman. Jonathan Grossman is our co-producer and all-around sound guru. He also wrote the original music. This podcast is recorded and mixed at Night Shift Audio in Los Angeles, California. Finally, if you like the show, please rate, review, and share it with a friend. Let's share the light with each other.